It would be the Dallas Cowboys. You know, this dates back to when he was a Seahawk, and we're all familiar with the clip. You know, them behind the scenes near the locker room, and Earl Thomas basically saying, you guys have a chance, come get me. And we all thought that that was something that we looked at as taboo. It does happen more oftentimes than people think. But just like Ian touched on it. Mike McCarthy came out this morning and said, we're confident in our 80-man roster, which is basically him saying, I don't want any of my guys to get offended with what I'm about to say. And then after that, he said, that's more conversations for Jerry, Stephen, and Will McClay. I have nothing to report. And that is your head coach just shifting the energy and saying, if you want to talk about Earl Thomas coming here, which I would love to have happen, you need to talk to those who are going to be cutting the checks. That's Jerry Jones and his crew. So I do think that this could be a fit in Earl Thomas, knowing that he just got released and what the perception might be of him right now at this point in his career. He's going to have a lot to prove, and a very motivated, hungry Earl Thomas could be a very dangerous one and could help that defense immediately.
He's very famous. It'd be a flashy signing. He'd make them better. I mean, there's a lot that makes sense about Dallas, even aside from him wanting to go there. But I'm going to say if it's 2020 in this NFL season, we're going all in. Let's go all in. Tampa, if you're going to have a dream team, everybody in the pool, more big names, more big players, there it is. Put this dude in pewter. Look, if you want to look at their secondary, there's not the big-time first-round picks back there. It's young guys. It's a few guys waiting to establish themselves. He would come in immediately, be the best safety on their roster. This is a team that, you know, like people point out here and there, if you get into it, they passed on Derwin James in the draft. They passed on Derwin James in the draft twice. And I think it's interesting with Arians. You know, Arians is not afraid to state his opinion on players or adding players. For example, you know, when the Antonio Brown stuff came up, when Brady was there, well, Brady likes AB, and Arians was like, nah, not happening. I know that player. I'm not into it. It's not happening. I'm sure he has a very strong opinion about Earl Thomas, too, and maybe whether or not that would be a fit. I'm saying from the four of us, if we're going to have the traveling circus, let's add another act. Let's add another big name. And I do think he'd make their defense better. Because, Peter, as you've talked about all day long, all year long, Brady can Brady and Gronk can Gronk. That Tampa Bay defense is going to need guys who have been there before, and they don't have them.
Yeah, in the biggest spot of the season, nothing against these guys. It might come down to Carlton Davis and Jamel Dean from the Buccaneers making a big play. Would you rather have Earl Thomas back there helping out and calling the shots? Perhaps you would. You know our show is live when I'm about to suggest something and the coach immediately has already contradicted it. Literally 28 seconds ago on a Falcons team media call in a Zoom session, Dan Quinn said the team has no interest in signing Earl Thomas. You know what team I think should sign Earl Thomas, or at least should consider it? The Atlanta Falcons. Let's go into my spiel, all right? Because Dan Quinn can say what he wants.
Let's do it.
I'm speaking to Earl, and I'm speaking to Thomas. I'm speaking to Thomas Dimitroff, the GM. When was Earl Thomas at his all-time best? When he was in Seattle, of course. And who was the defensive coordinator early on those days? It was Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn got to Super Bowls with Earl Thomas as his star safety. And, of course, then there was the Chris Richard era. But if you're Thomas Dimitroff and you look what you've done this offseason so far, let's take a look at the players that they have brought in as free agents. Let's see the Atlanta Falcons free agent list here if we can, because it's Todd Gurley, all right? What's he? Huge swing, first-round pick, right? Who else do we got here? We've got Laquan Treadwell, former Vikings first-round pick. Hayden Hurst, former Ravens first-round pick, right? Charles Harris, former Dolphins first-round pick. Dante Fowler, of course, former Jaguars first-round pick. Deion Buchanan, first-round pick. DeQuint Denard, first-round. The common theme here, all first-round picks. What was Earl Thomas? A first-round pick. If the Falcons have a familiarity from their head coach with the star safety, Earl Thomas, and of course they've been doing something this offseason that does seem to be very aggressive, I'm just saying, Dan Quinn can say what he wants in a Zoom call. I'm not saying it will happen. Okay. I'd like to see Earl Thomas down there in Atlanta. Dan Quinn, why would you spoil this? Why couldn't you wait maybe 5 more minutes before you say it's not going to happen and I can do my segment? Come on, DQ.
Live TV, Shregs. I love it. Can I pitch you one, Shregs, and you tell me how you feel about it?
Yeah, pitches all of us.
Okay, so Shregs, with everything going on with him, I feel like this wasn't how he was, at least to the public in the start of his career, with things like late meetings and things like that. What if he reunites with one of his mentors? You've got current Chargers defensive coordinator, Gus Bradley, right? He was with him his first 3 years of his career. Can you imagine Derwin James and Earl Thomas back there. Kyle Brandt very often says it's not offense that's going to keep up with a team like the Chiefs, but it's defense slowing them down. Sure. I might like to see that.
I like it. I like it. Kyle, I know you're a big Derwin James fan. What do you think?
You hit the nail on the head. You're not going to outscore Mahomes. Load up on defense. It actually might have been the best suggestion of the segment. I like it. However, there's an update. They have interrupted the Dan Quinn virtual chat to say, Dan, Peter Schrager just said on live TV that the Falcons should get Earl Thomas, and now Dan is backpedaling, Peter. It looks like Deion Sanders down there. He's in the backpedal. What's going on?
The Brotherhood. I'm sorry. Add him to the Brotherhood. Let's go. Come on, Falcons. Come on, Dan.